Welcome back, dear students. In this video, we are going to learn about support vector machines, another new chapter in your module 5. So there are totally 5 chapters. So this is the third chapter, support vector machines. So what is support vector machine? So in machine learning, in previous semester, you have learned that support vector machines are supervised learning models. They are associated with learning algorithms which analyze data used for classification and regression analysis. So when given a set of training examples, each marked as belonging to one or the other of two categories, what SVM do is SVM training algorithms builds a model that assigns new example to one category or the other, so making it a non-probabilistic binary linear classifier. So such methods are called as Platt scaling exist to use SVM in a probabilistic classification setting. So an SVM model is a representation of the examples as points in space. Okay, I'll show you the figure in the later slides. They are mapped so that the examples of the separate categories are divided by a clear gap that is as wide as possible. So you can see here. While explaining this figure, I'll tell you. While explaining SVM model, I'll tell you what is that wider gap and all. So as of now, in introduction slide. So what is support vector machine? As I told you already, it is a machine learning technique to build linear binary classifier. Okay, so it creates a hyperplane in a high dimensional space that accurately slice the data set into two segments, so according to the desired objective. SVMs are famous for solving more practical problems such as identifying spam emails and other text mining applications. So as part of your text mining, you are learning SVMs. Okay, so this is SVM model, data points for classification. So you are classifying into two categories, that is square dots and circle dots. We will see it. So SVM model is a SVM classifier is a high dimensional space. In a high dimensional space defines the decision boundary between two classes. So support vector defines gutters or boundaries condition on either side of hyperplane for each of these two classes. So you have two classes here. So what support vectors will do is they define boundary conditions for these two classes. Okay, suppose there are two classes. The goal is to find best classifier between the two types. So SVM takes vector approach to separate two classes, which finds the widest margin, that is the largest distance to the nearest training data points of the either classes, right? So this is a support vector machine classifier. So see the gutter there or boundary, you have optimal hyperplane. So it takes the widest margin and it suits to which class the given point is or given point belongs. So that is the technique here. Okay, then in figure 13.2, hard line is the optimal hyperplane. Here hard line is the optimal hyperplane, the middle one. There are three lines here. The middle line is optimal hyperplane. Okay, dotted lines are gutters, that is boundary. The gap between the gutter is the widest margin, what we have mentioned in the previous slide. So the classifier is defined by only those points that fall on the gutter both sides. So the points which fall on the other side are square points, and the points that fall this side belongs to the circle points. So rest of the points are irrelevant for defining the classifier. Okay, so we will model here. Abstractly suppose that training data of n points is x1 y1 to xi yi, where xi represents the p-value vector for point I and yi is its binary class value of 1 or minus 1. So thus there are two classes represented, that is 1 and as well as minus 1. Okay, so assuming that the data is indeed linearly separable, so now what is your aim? You have to check whether the object belongs to minus 1 or plus 1. So you assume that data is indeed linearly separable. Then the classifier hyperplane is defined as those set of points that satisfy the equation w dot x plus b is equal to 0, where w is the normal vector to the hyperplane. So the hard margins can also be defined here. They are defined as w dot x plus b is equal to 1 and w dot x plus b is equal to minus 1, which are your two classes. So the width of the hard margin is 2 by w. Okay, so the points not on the hyperplane will be in their own classes. Okay, so the y value should be either greater than 1 or less than 1, so which belongs to either of the classes. Then SVM algorithm finds weight vector w for features such that there is widest margin between the two categories. So this method reduces memory requirements for computation, which is possible with kernel methods. Okay, so this is SVM model. Now we will know about kernel method. What is kernel method? So kernel method is heart of SVM algorithm, and the kernel methods, these operate using kernel trick, so which involves computing and working with inner products of only relevant pairs of data in feature space. So since it need not compute all data in high dimensional feature space, so it requires less computation and memory resources. So they remember, kernels remember each training example and associate weight representing its relevant to achievement of the objective. So kernel methods achieve this by learning from instances. Every instance it works with, it learns from some experience from it. So this is kernel method. So it is somewhat similar to how human beings learn, right? We learn lessons from tough lessons and discards normal situations. So we assign high weights to abnormal situations and less weights to normal situation. That is how kernel method works. And SVMs are more flexible and can tolerate some amount of misclassification also. Okay, that is one of the advantage of kernel method. So what are the advantages of SVMs? SVMs can work well with large data sets. Okay, so SVMs can work even when optimal decision boundary is non-linear curve. So it works well when you have curvilinear architecture. Then SVM concepts are easy to understand. Okay, so these are the advantages. Now let us coming to disadvantages. SVM works well only with real numbers and binary numbers. Okay, so it is a time consuming process when data set is large. Then SVM doesn't work well when there are noisy data. So these are some of the disadvantages of SVM, support vector machines. So that's all in this chapter, very small chapter. So you may be asked with two questions here. The first one is explain what is support vector machine and explain SVM model. Okay, so this is the answer you have to write, support vector machine model, what we have discussed in this video. And the last question is write a short notes on advantages and disadvantages of SVM. These are the two probable questions that can be asked from this chapter. Okay, so in the next video we are going to talk about web mining, the fourth chapter in your fifth module. Okay, so till then, take care, goodbye.